Welcome to Royal Pride. I'm Tim Rutherford here with Eastern Hancock Athletic Director Aaron Spalding. Welcome, Aaron.
Great to be here.
Well, winter sports are underway,
Yes.
So that's a great thing, especially since the weather, it's 20-some degrees outside today, so
absolutely.
It's a great time of year to be indoors.
And we've already had to cancel a game for weather. It's I think the first time we've ever canceled a game due to weather before Thanksgiving. We have girls basketball had to cancel it because of an ice issue, so winter is definitely up and running.
Well, we're going to get started right away. I think we're going to wrap up maybe some of the fall sports from the awards banquet first, and then we'll get right into what's going on with the winter sports. Everybody's underway now in the winter. But we had a trophy presentation from the middle school tennis team at our fall sports award.
We had our fall awards, I believe it was November 14th, a couple weeks ago. I want to talk about some of the athletes that were recognized there. One of the things we do at our awards ceremony is present any trophies that won. Middle school tennis were the Eastern Hancock Invitational Champions, so congratulations to them. They did a great job. Coach Mike Womack led them. Anytime you have close to 30 in middle school tennis, and that is between boys and girls, but obviously a great accomplishment for middle school tennis.
Excellent. And then we had a bunch of individual recognitions. We had several students receive their letter jacket.
Yeah, the way an athlete at Eastern Hancock receives their letter jackets, it's one of three ways. They can earn 3 overall varsity letters. That could be in any sport, a combination of different sports. They can earn 2 in the same sport. So, for instance, if they're just a football player, they could get it their freshman and sophomore year, then receive their jacket. Or if they're a senior receiving their letter for the first time, then they would receive their jacket. So I want to recognize, we'll start with the girls, the athletes that received their letter jackets, Kaylin Edwards, Chloe McCarty, Bella Parker, Leah Sotelo, Shelby Tincher, Jenna White, Jordan Wickard, and Carissa Wicker all received their letter jackets. And then on the boys' side, Sam Blocker, Daniel Campbell, Ethan Carey, Jacob Harris, Cody Huff, Gabe Lawler, Skylar Sexton, Caden Sotelo, Brady Smith, Aaron Serberg, and Kyle Willard all received their letter jackets.
And then the top award for an athlete is if you get 9 varsity letters, correct?
No, our top athletic award at Eastern Hancock is you receive 9 varsity letters over the course of your athletic career. And we did have one young lady who accomplished that, senior Jenna Smith, with her letter in volleyball, received her athletic ring. She's lettered numerous times in volleyball and then basketball and then track as well.
Excellent. So those are some excellent individual accomplishments there that we recognize. We also had some other individual recognitions at the banquet that night.
Yeah, we always like to recognize some things that, and then we've probably talked about this in previous shows, but some athletes who kind of got above and beyond type recognitions. We'll start in girls cross country. Ashton Willis and Annie Lindsay were both regional qualifiers. Annie Lindsay also earned all conference honors at the conference meet. Then we had the overall champion, county champ of the middle school race, Olivia Evans, just a 6th grader, won the county, so quite an accomplishment for her. Boys cross country side, we had 2 regional qualifiers, Daniel Campbell and Skylar Schroep, 2 all-conference, Daniel Campbell and Skylar Schroep were also all-conference, and then Skylar, for the 2nd consecutive year, was a semi-state qualifier. And also want to mention, we had the overall boys conference champion, Edric Miller. I believe we also had the number 2 slot there in the conference meet.
Yes.
Preston Markley got number 2, so great job by them as well.
And Preston's just a 6th grader.
Preston is a 6th grader. Edric will be moving up next year to help the high school side.
And then we did have some all-MEC honors with our football team as well. Looks like we had 3 players that were named all-MEC.
MEC, Garrett Friesen, Victor Olivo, and Brady Stevens, all 3 were all-conference We're still waiting on All County. New Pal managed to prolong the season quite a bit this year, so we haven't got All County out yet, but we'll look forward to having that here shortly.
People probably haven't heard anything about that the last few days. So, and then in volleyball, we had a couple of All County honorable mentions and an All NEC.
Haley Best and Jenna Smith both earned honorable mention All County, and then Jenna was our All Conference nominee. And as I've mentioned several times on this show, that it's pretty tough to be All Conference in our conference in volleyball. As good as the teams are in our conference.
Yes, everybody said we joined that just so Corey could win.
Yeah, so she could pull all her hair out.
Titles, right?
Yes.
So, and then we did have a record board edition in the fall on the cross country course. Daniel Campbell.
Yes, we have boards in our hallway that have various accomplishments, and the way we recognize our cross country athletes is we have the top 10 overall times. And Daniel Campbell did crack that. I believe it was number 10, if my memory is correct, at 17:24, the 10th fastest time in the history of Eastern Hancock. Daniel just a sophomore, so we look to have him move up that board as we move on.
Excellent. Well, that's it for the fall sports, and we're going to jump right into the winter sports here and get started. Our swim teams have both started. They had their first meet against Centerville here, I believe, in the last few days.
Yeah, they started last week. They're another. I forgot when we started the show. They had a meet the same night that girls basketball, and they were iced out, so to speak, as well. But they did get a meet in last week. Both the boys and the girls defeated Centerville. That was at our place. They have tomorrow night. They'll be traveling to Connorsville. So they'll have a tri-meet with Connorsville and Batesville. And then Saturday, I just talked with our swim coach this morning, Coach McCormick. They'll be going to Pike High School. And I guess we're going to be swimming with the big boys. So we're going to get, but that's good for us because, as you know, individual sports, when we come sectional time, we'll have to do that. Some of the highlights of the meet the other night, first place finishes. Elise Hovman had a good meet. She won the 200 and the 500 freestyle. Garrett Henderson won the 50 and the 500 freestyle, and Ethan Bolding won the 100 freestyle. And then we had a couple relay teams, which won. The girls and boys 200 free teams won. The girls team consisted of McCartney, Huffman, Romano, and Griesmeyer. Boys 200 as well, of Edwards, Bolding, Dizer, and Henderson. And then we had one other first place finish, Martina Romano, who is a foreign exchange student. She won the 100 breaststroke.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Royal Pride. When we come back, we're going to hit the courts and talk a little basketball. We'll be right back here on Royal Pride.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt, the Ninestar Energy Advisor. Today we're going to be talking about saving energy with your windows and doors.
Windows and doors are a weak spot in your home. The R value of a window or door is much less than insulated walls. A great way to control energy costs is to make sure you properly seal and insulate exterior windows and doors. Check the caulking or air sealing around the outside of your windows and doors. Caulk shrinks and cracks over time, so you should keep an eye on it over the years and repair as needed. Take a close look at your windows and doors to make sure the weather stripping is intact and not damaged. Storm doors are helpful, but if you have one, make sure it closes properly. Check the weather stripping around your windows and again make sure it is intact. Additionally, make sure to caulk the inside of the windows and doors.
Thanks for watching this energy savings tip brought to you by your friends at Ninestar.
Welcome back to Royal Pride. They caught us.
Yeah.
We're going to talk, before we get to the courts, we're going to talk wrestling at first. And we've had, I believe, our first meet a couple Saturdays ago. We did have an individual champion at that meet.
Yeah, we participated in the John Hurry Invite, which takes place at Arsenal Tech High School. That was our first. We did have New Pals caused us all kinds of problems. We did have a dual meet scheduled for this past week with New Pal, but that darn football got in the way again, so we've rescheduled that to December. But yeah, they participated in our first meet at Tech. We did have an overall champion, Alexander Burton, at the 220-pound weight class. They will be traveling to Cambridge City this coming Saturday for an invitational. Next up, we've had some good success. I believe 2 years ago we won that invite. Last year we finished second, so hopefully we can have some good success this year. Coach Oliver has quite a few good wrestlers back. So hopefully we can look forward to some good things on the mat.
Now, in the past, the schedule has been primarily invitationals for the season for the wrestling team. I think this year we have a couple of more dual meets, or there was a change in some
we
of the
added
rules.
The rules were, I believe, you could have 6 overall invitational types, and then the rest either had to be duals or double duals. And we've done a couple. We've added a dual meet with New Pal, which I mentioned. It's now gotten rescheduled to December. And then we got a double duel later after Christmas with Newcastle and Tri-High. So, and then we have our annual, in January, we have our annual showdown with Knightstown at the Hoosier Gym. Bring grappling to the hardwood, although we do set out the mats, so we don't wrestle on the hardwood. But that's always a fun atmosphere. We do that every year. So, and then for the second straight year, we'll host a conference. We are the host, so hopefully we can fare well there as well.
Excellent. Well, now we're going to move out to the hardwood, and we're going to start with the girls because ladies first, as we always do. They've had a good start. They're 4-2 to start the season. I believe 3-1 in the conference, so
Yes.
great start to the year. And there's been some individual stuff as well. I know you see all the
Yep,
games.
I see. I've got one on that team. So they had a great win over Shenandoah this past Tuesday. Came down to the wire. Got a big win over them past Tuesday. That made them 3-0 in the conference. Unfortunately, Wapahani got us this past Saturday at their place to make us 3-1 in the conference. But off to a really solid start. So we do have some injuries we're dealing with. Chloe O'Neill is out. That's going to be hard to replace. We're going to have some girls step up to replace that scoring and her athleticism. Our leading scorer, Jocelyn Duncan's off to shooting the ball exceptionally well. She's averaging 15.5 points a game. She also leads the team in assists, just over 2. Jenna Smith, who we've mentioned earlier, is our leading rebounder at 8 per game. So Haley Best is a returning senior. She's our all-time leading three-point shooter. So she's great to have back. As you mentioned, my daughter is kind of the defensive person assigned to, much to her chagrin, every night chasing their best player around. A name is escaping me right now. Caroline Stapleton. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the first name. I kept thinking of her sister. As a freshman who's stepping up, doing some nice things for us. Bella Whitty does some nice things for us. So, we're really looking forward to seeing how the season unfolds. They travel to Southwestern tonight. They'll be there. And then Saturday they take on Hagerstown at our place.
And they're already 3-1 in conference play, which means they're roughly halfway through the conference season. How does that look with what's remaining on the schedule?
Right. As I mentioned over when we were breaking, Monroe Central is by far the class of the conference. Last year, they went undefeated in the regular season. They did get upset in the sectional, but I believe they were 22-1 last year. And we played them in the scrimmage, and they're still pretty good. So I believe they have a girl who is on the junior all-state team for the entire state last year. She was a junior all-star, so they've got a really solid team. You know, after that, I would say us and Wapahonee and Shenandoah are right there in the mix. Randolph Southern's got a decent team. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but so, you know, we'll play Monroe Central. We still got them coming up. And we play them at our place, so if we can find a way to get past them, we could be right there in contention.
And then I think we play most of our sectional opponents on the girls' schedule as well. Triton Central.
Triton Central is by far the class of our sectional, and they got us pretty good. I don't know, 15, 16 points, if my memory serves me correct, at our place. So we're going to have some ground to cover if we're going to compete there, although it was 2 years back where they got us pretty good in the regular season, and then we upset them in the sectional. So you just got to keep getting better and kind of let the chips fall where they may. Our sectional this year will be at Shenandoah. So we'll see where we're at when it comes that time.
And sometimes teams like that, if you're going to have to play them twice, you'd rather beat
That's
them in the
right.
sectional.
You'd rather
than
beat them in the
regular
sectional. If
season.
you're going to win one, you'd rather do it in the sectional.
Yeah, and teams like that, if you upset them in the regular season, they remember that when you get to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So. Well, we're going to move on to the boys' hardcourt. We'll get started before the break here, and then we'll have a short break in the middle. But we are off to a great start. We're undefeated to this point, both the JV and the varsity.
Yeah.
Centerville has kind of taken it on the chin from Eastern Hancock
Yep.
so far this year because the boys and girls swimming both won. The girls basketball beat them. Boys basketball, both JV and varsity beat them.
Yep.
So now we just need the wrestling team to
Yeah,
get
I was kind of wondering if wrestling plays them in this weekend at Cambridge City, but I'll have to check that out. But yeah, we got off to a good start, nice solid start. Both, as you mentioned, the varsity and JV had a double-digit win, which is a consistent game that day before Thanksgiving. We always play that game for, I think, probably close to 50 years that game's occurred. Give or take, for some football success, we've had to move that game back. But it's a good start to the year. It's always good to get a road win. Makes Thanksgiving a little bit better. You know, we had I think we had 3 guys in double figures. I think Peyton Gray, Landon O'Neill, and Brady Smith were all in double figures. Joey Sterrett had double-digit rebounds. Skylar Schroep came in off the bench. He started and ran the floor for us. Did a great job there. So off to a good start, and we'll see where we go from there.
And positive thing is we only had 7 turnovers.
7 turnovers. Anytime you can be in single digits turnovers, you're going to be in good shape. You know, now we're this week we come into it. We got a double weekend. We're at home both nights. Friday night we'll host Southwestern, who's got they're young, but they got a really nice young team. Last year they beat our JV pretty good over at their place. They have some really good young players, so we're going to have a challenge for that. And then we open up conference play on Saturday night with Westdale. We host them, so hopefully we can get off to a good start in the conference. Westdale's off to a 2-0 start, so we'll obviously have our hands full there too.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on Royal Pride. When we come back, we'll finish up on the hardwood and talk a little bit about the middle school program as well, as they've been underway longer than the varsity season has. Mm-hmm. So we'll be right back here on Royal Pride.
A neighborhood drive-up builds their menu around locally sourced foods. A community-owned telecom delivers fiber optic bandwidth that helps them leverage high-performing technology with lower startup costs. Turns out, going local doesn't just mean fresh, it means better. Ninestar Connect. Community-owned, community-strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to continue on with the boys on the hardwood. We talked a little bit about last week, a little bit of a preview to our conference. We've got some tough games this year coming up with some of the usuals from last year. I think we should be competitive, but going to be some challenges on the schedule as well.
Yeah, we probably, I would say, coming into it, Shenandoah would be the favorite. We shared the conference championship with them last year. They did lose some this past year in Kinsey and Myers, but they got a lot of quality kids return. So I'd say they'd be the favorite, and we have to play at their place late in January. And then I think Wapahani will be solid. We play at their place too. But as you mentioned, I think we can be competitive. Still kind of remains to be seen. Since we lost 7 seniors, kind of how some kids will respond to things. But looking forward to the challenge.
And we do have some senior leadership back. We had a couple that played minutes for us last year, Skylar and Peyton.
Yep.
So looking for some great leadership out of them.
Yep,
but
absolutely. Got some seniors who've been great in our program all the way through. Kind of waited their turn to play with the seniors graduating. So this is their turn to shine. So looking forward, like I said, to see how they respond.
And then, like we've talked about in the fall a lot, we've got a lot of young kids, a lot of freshmen playing, some on the varsity, some on the JV. So the future looks pretty bright.
Absolutely.
For our program. Middle school, speaking of the future, our middle school boys are off to a great start. Between the two teams, they're 11-1.
Yep,
So I'd say that's a pretty good start to the year for our program.
Our 8th grade, 6-0, highlighted by a couple really, had a close win over Blue River this past week. I believe they beat them by 3. And then they had another close game against North Decatur, beat them by 6 or so. The other games have been double-digit victories. So they're off to a nice start. 7th grade just has one blemish on the record at 5-1. They fell to LaPel, but also had their last win was a nice, I think they won by 3 as well over Blue River. So they're off to a great start. It's really fun seeing our 7th and 8th grade programs. And just fact, Coach Schultz is our 8th grade coach, and he has been at the middle school, either 7th or 8th grade year. He'll be his 20th year. He came the same year that I came. And then we have 3 former players coaching. Jake Hicks played for us, graduated, probably 6-7 years ago. I don't know, somewhere in that nature. Cole Allen assists Coach Hicks. He played for us and graduated, I believe, 3 years ago, something of that nature. And then Jake Eischen is assisting Coach Schultz. He just graduated for us last year. So it's great to see kids, they're becoming young men now, but coming back and being on the other side. And maybe they realize sometimes why I'm so frustrated with them.
Well, I'm starting to tell everybody I'm feeling real old because a lot of the boys that were in our program when we first started with the high school they have children of their own. They're coaching in our youth league, and so they're all in their early 30s. And
gives me an explanation for my gray hair.
So great start to the boys' middle school season. We have our youth league starts this Saturday, this weekend. We have a kindergarten, 1st grade league, a 2nd and 3rd grade league, and then a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade league. That are in-house leagues, and they all start
this Saturday. We'll get it rolling. Also we have girls as well. It'll be K through 3. We'll start the 4th, 5th, and 6th. They do that more in the fall. But everybody else gets rolling Saturday. So if you are over at Eastern Hancock Saturday, it will be a wild day. We've got how many ever games we have youth league? That's a bunch. And then we have a varsity game, a girls game in the afternoon, JV varsity. And then we have a varsity JV boys game Saturday night. So there will be north of double-digit games at Eastern Hancock Saturday. So it'll be a hopping day. Some other teams that will get rolling here shortly. 5th and 6th grade boys basketball. We'll get rolling next Monday, take on LaPel. I believe they're at their place. We're at our place.
One of our few home games.
There we go. Okay, so we're at our place. And then our 7th and 8th grade girls, they'll start the following Monday. So we're getting close to getting everybody rolling. So we're looking forward. 5th and 6th grade, the last group to start. 5th and 6th grade girls, that'll take place after Christmas break.
Excellent. And Saturday, the Girls Youth League begins at 9 a.m. in the elementary. I believe their games start at noon or 11 in the middle school for the middle school, the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And then the boys program in the elementary will start at 12:30 and run. The last game tips at 4:30.
Yeah, so it'll be hot. So if you want to watch some basketball, you can come early and stay all day, and you'll get your fill.
Excellent. Well, we have a few things we want to cover here. Our foundation is having a fundraiser Friday night during the Southwestern game.
Yeah, the Eastern Hancock Educational Foundation, which is a group that provides grants for things happening in our classrooms at school. And they have various fundraisers. A lot of people are familiar with the Mud Run that occurs every spring, and they do various other things. They do a tree auction in conjunction with Charlotte Creek Nursery. And another thing every winter they do, and they've expanded it now. Before it was just a pie auction. Well, now they've expanded it to a dessert auction, so who knows what kind of good stuff you could come over and bid on this Friday, but that'll take place this Friday at the varsity boys basketball game.
Excellent. And one of the things that we have that's really helping all of our athletic programs is our athletic development that we have. We have a class that all of our athletes in the high school and middle school are eligible to participate in, and most are involved in all those classes. So I think you...
Yeah, what I've actually got a video we'd like to show you of some things. Derek Cullison, last year we hired him part-time to come in and work with all our athletes. This year we're fortunate enough to have him full-time along with Coach Armstrong. And he's been doing a great job developing our athletes, and even not necessarily we have a class each period, but we do some extra stuff. A lot of times I know he came in with boys basketball all through the fall, several days, and then I know lately he's been working softball out, and then swimming. He's even getting up in the morning. Something I've learned over the years, whenever swimming does any workouts outside of the pool, they call that dry land. So they have their dry land workouts. He's been doing a great job with that, and really looking forward to seeing the development. It starts with our 8th graders, kind of with a readiness class, and looking forward to seeing how that'll develop over the years. Coach Cullison is good, but he's tough. Sometimes when I feel sorry for the kids, and I know it's a tough workout, so he's got them working hard.
Excellent. So we're going to show that quick video here.
Good. Again. Drive, drive, drive. Come on, opposite.
So some great things going on with our athletic development program. Well, we're going to wrap up the show for this month. We'll be back again next month here on Royal Pride. Thank you for joining us again, Athletic Director and Head Basketball Coach Aaron Spalding. And we do want to extend a congratulations out to New Palestine Football on their state championship that was won over Thanksgiving weekend. Congratulations to you guys and best wishes for the future. We'll be back here next month on Royal Pride.